see high-level basketball meets the drama of reality TV.
The Elam ending, everything on the line. For the win, scores! Ray Jarvie wins it!
Deep three, Farrell drains it.
Here's Buddy.
He got it! And that's your ball game, Bayheim's Army!
Get cool stuff for what you were going to do anyway. Drink beer. With Buy Beer, Get Gear from Labatt, you can just snap a photo of your receipt and upload it to the website to rack up points for exclusive merch. Get points for every purchase, whether you're grabbing a pint on draft, a case for a party, or a tall boy at the stadium. Any size, any product, anywhere you buy Labatt. Buy Beer, Get Gear. Sign up now at rewards.labattusa.com.
Bridgeport, ESPN Radio.
Now, stand back for your own safety.
Steve, what's up?
Congrats on the win.
Thanks, Steve. Where Paulie at?
Here we go.
I'm checking out. I will respond to you, but I'm done for the week. I'm done.
Steve is my favorite part of the show. How's that?
I like that. Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
Check for sound.
Pleasure to be on there talking with Paulie, man. He's a good dude.
I'm an idiot. I'll just shut up and let you talk. I was trying to help.
And shout out to Tupac.
3, 2, 1, and 3.
This is Orange Nation.
Well, hello, Paulie and Steve.
With Steve Infanti and Paulie Sibilia.
Good afternoon, everyone. Glad to have you with us alongside Paulie Sibilia. I'm Steve Infanti. We are back from a week-long break here on Orange Nation.
Oh, much needed.
It is a Monday, which means we got Mike McAllister on with us at 12:30. Other than that, we want to hear from you at 315-437-7644. What's up, Paulie? How was the time off?
Good. How'd you sleep all week, Steve? How was your week of
well,
sleep?
Let's see. Monday. No, I'm kidding. I did okay. I did okay.
Good. Yeah, I didn't do much. I went to Weird Al. I'll give you a review of that at the 45. A rare positive review of something from Paulie.
I was going to save it for the 45, but since you have something already lined up, I'm going to mention to our listeners and viewers that I reached out to you right at the beginning of our break, tried to get a phone call back. Several days went by. You had various excuses why I didn't get a phone call back. And then you eventually told me, listen, I'm on vacation. Basically, leave me alone until Monday. So, yeah, I didn't know that our friendship took a vacation.
I was on vacation from life.
Okay.
Everything
was
it
shows me where I stand. So that was
you and everybody
else.
You stand along with everybody else.
Well, I didn't think that. I thought that maybe
you're
we were closer than everybody else.
If my dad had texted me, I'd been like, shut up, I'm on vacation.
Okay. All right.
You're no better than anybody else.
So never got that phone call back, but it is good to see you.
Yeah, thanks. It's great to be here, Steve.
We're going to see a lot of each other this week. We've got, obviously, 5 days of shows. We also have potentially 2 TBT games here in town that we'll be doing together.
Yeah, you and I working together on those.
Yeah.
I was going to let Tim do them, but he decided golf is more important than...
He's got a conflict, so it's me and you.
Yeah.
Instead of me and Tim. Thursday, we will definitely be doing a game, 7 o'clock here on ESPN Radio Syracuse.
Yes.
6:45 pregame. And then Friday, if necessary. Remember, the first round now is a best of 3.
They can't lose in the first round.
I know that you've been prepping, so you know that it's a best of 3. You know all that.
I do.
I know. I'm kidding.
They got their coaches.
Yeah, we saw them lose last year unexpectedly to the D3 squad. So, yeah, let's hope that they don't have another early exit. Best of 3 series against Seton Hall.
Hopefully they roll
Tuesday
into the home
in New Jersey
game with an advantage.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's certainly the hope. You don't want to have to come back here and be forced to win 2 straight. You would like to have 2 chances to win 1.
Yeah, it'll be fun. They're always fun, whether they win or lose. It's good to see all the guys back together again playing.
Yeah.
So, you all right?
Yeah, little frog in my throat as we get. I haven't really used my voice in a week.
I don't know if you needed to take a break 2 minutes into the show. Okay.
I'm good. ACC Media Day.
Football.
Days, plural, 3-day event held last week. We'll get to Syracuse in a second. The headliner from day one, and again, I don't know how closely you were paying attention to this, Paulie, but they changed how they do tiebreakers when it comes to the ACC championship game. And
it was convoluted before.
Right. You kind of knew it was coming.
Yeah,
After last year, they had 5 teams tie for second. Miami was left out, and Miami was clearly the best team in the conference and didn't play in the ACC title game. So they have adjusted the tiebreakers to make sure that happens. And so essentially what they've done is head-to-head will remain tiebreaker number 1, as it should. And then after that, instead of the system they had in place, it comes down to a formula that takes into account your entire body of work. The same formula, by the way, used by the College Football Playoff Committee. So essentially, I mean, they didn't say this in the release, but essentially it's going to be whoever the highest ranked team is in the College Football Playoff poll will get the nod when it comes to the tiebreakers to go to the ACC title game, which to me makes a lot of sense.
Yes. Yeah, you got to do that. Last year was an absolute disaster. You know, the one team that made the play, like it almost cost Miami a chance to make the playoff last year, and they ended up going on a run, even though they got in. So, yeah, it was a disaster. Everything's a disaster. Life's a disaster, Steve.
So you knew change was coming, and they got change, and
they
again,
fixed it,
that change makes a lot of sense. All right.
Ellie Orange says, the whole world is talking about soccer, and you lead with the TBT and ACC tiebreakers. Yes, because we're in Syracuse. Thank you for knowing local radio. And now we're going to talk about Syracuse football, Steve, like we're supposed to do.
I thought it would be a bold strategy to lead World Cup. Did you even watch it? Did you?
No.
Yeah.
Nobody did.
Well, I don't know about that. I watched it.
Yeah, the world watched, not Americans.
It's just not you.
No, Americans did not care
You didn't
any
watch the final yesterday?
No, and it was boring. It was 0-0.
Well, that doesn't mean it was boring. Spain almost scored right away. Spain was peppering throughout. Argentina didn't have a shot until the very end.
I love a good peppering of soccer.
There was 2 yellows equaled 1 red card. Argentina's down a man, playing 11 on 10, doing everything they can to try to get to penalty kicks. Spain eventually broke through. It was entertaining.
Oh my God, the level of stupid in our chat right now is all right. Like they've had a week off to just get. We're in Syracuse as I wear a Padres hat. Am I talking about the Padres on a sports talk show? No. I'm also wearing a River Bottom Nightmare Band shirt. Does that mean we're doing a show on the River Bottom Nightmare Band? What a bunch of idiots. All right. Let's talk Syracuse football.
Okay.
I wish I could do 3 hours on the River Bottom Nightmare Band.
Could you really?
Oh, yeah. Emmett Otter, hell yeah.
I don't know about 3 hours. I could hang in there for about 30 minutes. I don't know if I
watched a lot of baseball, not soccer.
Okay. I mean, you didn't watch a lot of baseball because it was the All-Star break. You watched some baseball.
No, yesterday during
okay.
And I was also on a mission. We'll get into the 45. I don't know what's happening in this world.
Did I get a preview of that via text message?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, it's shocking to me what's happening out there. All right, let's talk football, for God's sakes.
All right, you've got some sound in front of you from ACC Media Days. Syracuse spoke on Thursday down in Charlotte. Antoine Delorier was down in Charlotte along with Steve Angeli, Fran Brown, Demetrius Samuel Jr. They were the 4 representing Syracuse. You've got the sound in front of you, Paulie, so why don't you have at it?
All right, Fran Brown, let's get into what excites him about this year's team.
YouTube. You didn't even give me a chance to say it. We didn't even get to our first break yet. Glad nothing's changed in a week.
Leadership, but also the followers. Like we learned that our culture is set by the followers. I think that our leaders, they know me, we understand each other, and they're not afraid to come and tell me when they don't like something. They won't just do it the whole time. They'll come and say, Coach, that shouldn't be that way. We don't feel that way. And then it makes it better for us. So there's not different chatter in the locker room. I think our guys are so mature that they understand NIL is important and it's something that has to happen. It helps provide for their families. It helps provide for all across the country. And they know that that's the way of life, and they're men.
Likes the leadership, Steve.
Yeah. And he talked about that quite a bit during his press conference and then off to the side when he met with the media, just talking about that he feels like he's got the right guys in place to lead this team. Ryan Mullen brings up in the chat, Fred Brown is going to kill it this year. We should mention that's the way the press conference started, in case you guys didn't see last week. So Syracuse is, it's their turn at the podium. I don't know if you saw this, Paulie. Their press conference starts at noon, coming back from a little bit of a break for lunch. And the ACC moderator says, now representing the Orange, we'll get an opening statement from, Fran Brown. And then Fran steps to the podium and, makes a joke about, man, disrespecting us already. And that's crazy. And, he said it with a smile on his face. that was bothering him inside. So that's how it started. And I have a feeling that's going to be a reoccurring theme this year for this team is chip on your shoulder. Nobody believes in us type of deal where you're trying to prove a lot of people wrong.
It worked year one in weird ways. You remember the Georgia Tech thing?
Yeah, right.
He somehow
with Brent Key, yeah,
he finds a way to get
to motivate. Yeah,
to
I think that's going to be. I think he's going to use that
everything
one.
Personal.
Yeah, I think he's going to use that one.
Let's go to Mark in New York City. Steve,
Mark, what's going on?
Hey, guys. Just turning the page of Syracuse football, starting to think about the team a little bit. Specifically, was thinking about the running back room. In years past, we had Sean Tucker and knew what we were getting him, and we knew Quinn Allen was waiting for his chance, and we saw that. And then, you've seen Willis. We knew he was waiting behind Quinn Allen, and we saw him last year. And, this year, I feel like we kind of just have no idea what we're getting in the running back room. I think the kid from LSU we brought in as a converted quarterback. So just curious, what do you know about this running back room? Is this an area of concern? I just want to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question, and we've talked about that at length, right? That there are a lot of unknown commodities on offense. You think you think there's talent there, right? We talked about the wide receiver room as well, that, you've got so many options at wide receiver, but who's going to step up? We don't know. Same thing with running back. They go out and they got a couple of different style running backs. But and here's the thing, I think we've seen this with Jeff Nixon when Angeli's been out there, right, and when Cal McCord was out there. When he's got a competent quarterback, we've seen the Jeff Nixon offense has been pretty good. Yeah, even going back to the start of last year with the Tennessee game where they got off to a slow start. They put up points on Tennessee. They got Yasin Willis the ball. They were able to to move the ball, score points. And through those first 4 games, then Angeli goes down, and that changed everything. They couldn't run the ball because they couldn't throw the ball. So I think that regardless of the personnel that you have in that room, Paulie, I think the hope is that you've got Angeli back, you've got Jeff Nixon, and you hope that it's more of a system play than it is necessarily relying on individual guys to get the job done. Your system will get the job done.
Yeah, and hopefully they've got a running back that can exploit holes and an offensive line that can actually create them. And if Angeli is able to connect to the receivers that he's got, it will open the run game for whoever's back.
Correct, and right, and that is the hope that you've got. And if somebody goes down, it's next man up, and it's more of a system success than it is necessarily you're relying on. And that's what happened last year. The team was too reliant on Steve Angeli, as we found out. They didn't have a backup behind him. Fran Brown thinks they've rectified that this year, that obviously Angeli's the starter, but if he were to go down, he thinks that they're in better shape when it comes to the quarterback position.
Steve, Fran Brown also talked about the transfer portal and not who they got, but who they kept and who people were trying to get.
And with the transfer portal, I'm happy about it. I mean, we got Steve Angeli from the transfer portal, right? He's one of the better leaders on the team. But you got to know what guys to go get, like Antoine. Everybody tried to take Twan. Like, guys was trying to take Demetrius from, right under my nose. But those guys stayed because you go and pick the right guys. The relationship's important. It's the culture, and it's picking the right guys. We didn't always pick the right guys the year before last. The first year I came in, of course, I picked them all because we came in and ran with it. But this year it was important that I picked them, but then they picked them. It wasn't just me. They told me who they wanted to play because of official visits. Who you around, allow them to drop the shield, and let's find out who they are.
Yeah, we heard that with last year with basketball, and it didn't quite work out, that they had Donnie and JJ meet with these guys and see what they're like and if you want to play with them or not.
Yeah, and I think that you're going to see it every year with football and basketball that, of course, other schools are going to come calling and see who's available. The guys who come back and return are going to be staying for a reason, right? And, Antoine Delorier talked about it, Demetrius Samuel, why they stayed. I'm sure money was part of it, but they talk about the culture. You see with Cayenne, Sadiq White, they stayed for a reason. Cayenne said if Jerry wasn't here, I probably would have left. So again, it was more than financial. There were other reasons behind it, and I think that's just going to be the nature of doing business in this NIL and transfer portal era. That a season ends, and essentially everybody's in free agency. Other schools are going to say, check in who's available, who's not available, and kind of go from there. And so I think that, of course, the returning players coming back, they're naturally going to be your leaders for a reason because they stayed for a reason. It's in a lot of cases, it's more than just money. It's because of culture or the coach or, whatever the case may be.
And something else came up, just nonsense. Like the fact that he actually answered the question on it, I guess, is important. But the fact that this was even in the news, and it was big news at the time, that Calvin Russell was on the field during practices, even though he was hurt.
I think I'm responsible for the complete student-athlete, but also their mental. So Calvin was on a scooter just catching the ball. He wasn't doing anything. So what should I just let him sit over there in the corner by himself? Right. I think mental health is serious. It's a huge issue in college football. If you've seen what Calvin's doing right now, you just say, well, maybe Coach wasn't crazy. That's what needed to happen. That's just the kind of kid he is, where you.
Yeah, and
hold on, there's more.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
I want to have him in the mix. I'd rather have him in the mix than being somewhere just feeling like he's not wanted or not needed.
We heard Steve Angeli talk on this topic a couple weeks ago, and then he addressed it again at ACC Media Day last week. And he talked about how Fran kept his spirits up during his recovery as well. And that, he was calling him every day and still meeting with him and having him watch film and having him be essentially an assistant coach while he was rehabbing. And Steve talked about how that helped him get through what was a very tough time. Obviously, this kid's performing at a very high level. He goes down with an Achilles tear, and he's out for at least the rest of the season and essentially a whole calendar year. That can be tough, obviously. And so, by Fran keeping Steve Angeli engaged, by Fran keeping Calvin Russell engaged, you just said it was stupid that he got some backlash. I agree with you. I understand that. Some people have come at Fran for, being performative, right? That was the phrase we heard over the weekend with Bryson DeChambeau, that he does things, to gain attention, like the sprints after winning a game. I get why some people looked at that as maybe performative. Trying to keep Calvin Russell engaged and Steve Angeli engaged, to me, that's not. Yeah, performative. To me, that's necessary in being a good coach.
Yeah, people acted like he had him standing there and was allowing his teammates to kick him in the bad leg. He wasn't going to get hurt. He wasn't going to make it worse.
No.
Him rolling around on a scooter during practice and catching a football. They're not dumb.
Yeah. So I usually don't agree with you when you say, people are dumb or stupid for saying something. That, to me, was dumb.
Look at you. You're growing as a human.
I agree with you on that. He's just trying to keep him engaged. And, oh, by the way, he did say he's playing this year. He said Calvin Russell will be back this year.
I don't like that.
Here's the thing.
That might be a little. Don't rush it.
Don't rush him. But at the same time, I think that there was, a thought about, well, if Syracuse is out of the bowl picture by the time, November rolls around, or, they have a 500 record, why would you bring them back? Just preserve that extra year. Now you don't need to preserve the extra year when it comes to a red shirt, because it's just 5 for 5. And, you understand going in that there's no benefit to completely sitting out. So if he's able to go and he's ready to go.
If your season's over, though, you just don't risk him re-injuring it or having a setback trying to get him back on the field.
I look at it as it's up to the kid. It's up to his doctors. It's up to his family. You go back to Donnie Freeman from a couple of years ago, and we said the same thing. Well, don't rush him back. He's got to do what's best for his future. What happened? He still got hurt the next year anyway.
And this year.
So there's no guarantee either way. If the kid's healthy, his doctors clear him, and he wants to play, and his family wants him to play, why not let him play? So to me, it was. I think there was more strategy involved before the 5 for 5 because it was preserve the red shirt and so on and so forth. Do what's best for the kid. Not that he was going to be at Syracuse for 4 more years, but do what's best for the kid. Now, what's best for the kid is he might as well play because he's going to lose the eligibility anyway.
Zach in our YouTube chat has a great question. Do you ever actually take a vacation, Steve?
Yeah, I took the last 3-4 days off. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We're just asking.
Yeah, I was not able to take all of last week off for various reasons because of my responsibilities at Channel 9. But yeah, I took 4 days off, and I'll take some more days off this summer.
Okay.
I texted you next Monday.
Yep, no show because of Steve.
No show?
Yeah.
Okay. You can carry on. You can do a show with Tim if you'd like.
It's July. Who
okay.
cares? I'll come in and do some work on some other radio stations.
Okay.
All right.
Fair enough. Shall we take our first time out?
Yeah.
All right. That was our opening drive brought to you by Burdick BMW of Cicero and Burdick Toyota. Quick break here. We got Mike McAllister coming up in about 10 minutes. Back after this on ESPN Radio.
Catch Sunday night.
Steve, you want to do a special podcast with me on the River Bottom Nightmare Band?
No, I don't.
Someone asked where I got the shirt from. Jordan gave it to me for Christmas. What a stupid take about my hat. Just dumb. Glad you guys haven't smartened up over the vacation. I'm not going to fish with Axe. Who told you that? $72 of you guys. Look at you guys killing it. Well, just came back, missed us. 70 in YouTube. Hi, guys. Missed you guys. Steve, are you psyched for Fish at the Amp? I did not hit DMB at SPAC. I think Tim did. Maybe we'll do a couple concert reviews at the 45 with Tim and I. See how he can rank his 500th Dave Matthews concert. What, Gaper, it is a stupid take. What about my hat has anything to do with the show? If you think that's a good take, you're not very bright. We aren't going to TBT tomorrow, but we'll do the Thursday or Friday game. Boss, I hope you enjoyed the show. Yo, you did a great time. It was a great concert. I'm not gonna lie. I did go to the gym a few times. I did. A lot of walking. Took some nice walks on my vacation. Thank you, SU Nut 44. He missed us. He enjoyed a week of no soccer talk. Thank you. God, it was obnoxious. So glad that's over with. If you guys had to deal with Paul texting you in a group text about soccer, you would have jumped out of a window. He says things that none of us understand.
No, but it's funny. I love when he texts because it's so.
I sent you guys a random text
formal
about the Padres, and he was clearly watching the game that I was. My vacation was okay. It was good. I didn't do anything. Dave Matthews Band sounds like a dying cow, Steve. Did you know that? We didn't go to dinner. That is, we didn't go to dinner and lunch. Normally we do that on vacation. But I was on vacation.
I couldn't even get you to return my call.
I was on vacation from life. I didn't want to deal with anybody.
Yeah, I tried.
I did go to Heritage Hill for dinner one night. That was nice, yeah.
That's literally 5 minutes from my house.
Yeah, I didn't tell you. I did not go to Fanatics Fest. Thanks for asking. For the record, Steve, you said there's no way you're going to remember who the artist of the day was.
You're right. I did say that.
And you were absolutely correct. We had to go back on YouTube and look it up. Soundgarden is our artist today. Only got a couple minutes here. Why don't we do our Yankees update now?
Oh, okay. I was not prepared for that.
Well, we only got 2 minutes.
Thanks for giving me the heads up. All right, Yankees update brought to you by the Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus. Jazz Chisholm hits a tie-breaking home run in the 8th last night as the Yankees beat the Dodgers 2-1. Bullpen game in the second game of the doubleheader yesterday. Really well-pitched game. Yankees were up 1-0 going into the 8th. Dodgers tied it on a pinch hit homer in the top of the 8th. Yankees pulled ahead on that Chisholm homer in the bottom of the 8th. They avoid the sweep. They're not playing great right now, as we well know, but they're still 11 games above 500. A game and a half back of the Rays, who were swept by the Red Sox this weekend, who have won like 100 games in a row. Red Sox are red hot at the moment. Yankees open up a series with Pittsburgh tonight at home in the Bronx. And the A's are not playing good baseball, by the way.
Yeah, that's shocking to me.
Yeah, I know.
You know what kind of flies under the radar, and the Yankees got to taste it yesterday, is Yamamoto is disgusting. He is a great pitcher.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he's really good. He kind of flies under the radar because of that team.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he won him the World Series last year, and he hasn't. He has not lost a step.
Do you see anybody other than them winning the World Series?
No.
You think it's like if you had to put a percent chance on
There's nobody in the. I'd put him at 95%.
95% to win the World Series?
Yeah, and there's not a team in the AL that could beat him.
Yeah. I'm afraid you're right. I mean, I'm afraid you're right about that part of it. But baseball's so fluky that I mean, you can't say 95%.
No, they're that good. And they'll probably get their pitchers back, and if they get Skubal, they are prohibitive favorites.
Yeah. 95 just seems like a lot to me, but
they're that much better than everybody.
Interesting. Okay.
If they stay healthy, I don't see anybody beating them.
All right, let's hit a timeout. As you mentioned, we've got Mike McAllister coming up on the other side. We will get back to the Syracuse football talk as the show moves along. We're back after this on ESPN Radio.
You know who's not good? Roki Sasaki. Yeah, Padres are only 3.5 out, but they need to. I don't know what they need to do. I don't want them to trade Mason Miller, but if they can get somebody to take either Bogarts or Machado's contract, the only way you trade him is if you get, like, the Yankees want him, you get Jason Dominguez and they take either Bogarts or Machado's contract. That's the only way you do it. I don't know how Yankees fans would feel about having either one of them as a Yankee. Yeah, they will. If they get Miller, they'll take him. Especially, they could put Bogarts at second or short. He's not going to hurt you. Bogarts isn't going to hurt you, like, just the money-wise. Like, Bogarts is a decent player. Come on, Kevin. What are they going to do? Do you think the Padres are going to just give you Mason Miller for a bunch of prospects? They're in a win-now mode. I still think they're not trading Miller. Yankees will probably get Moramone or Estrada or Jason Adam or Wandy Peralta out of the Padres, all good relievers. And I see Dominguez coming. I can see the Padres ended up having to take Volpe, Hall of Famer. Yeah, they'll be back, but by the time they get there, you got to be in the wild card. No, I think Volpe's good. He's just, something's wrong. It might be just playing in New York. A lot of people thought Fran Brown was performative in his things. I don't know why you think that's a dumb take, but coming from you, I could see you not thinking that. You don't remember a lot of people thought the winners get washed stuff was performative, and Fran is great. I love him, but I get why people who he's not coaching for, like other schools and fan bases, would not like him.
Yeah, I get why people were like, what was that with the sprints after winning a game? But
there's a lot of things he's done that come across as performative.
Yeah.
He said some stuff on our show that, Yeah,
I mean, I generally like a lot of what he does and says.
But I get why a lot of people would not like him. Yeah. If he wasn't their coach. Gaper, you're off to a hot start. I like to go out on a limb every once in a while with Mike McAllister, Steve. And I like to guess whether or not he likes a band that we're playing, and I think he is a Soundgarden fan. I'm going to go with that.
Let's find out. Mike, do you like Soundgarden?
They're okay. I don't go out of my way to listen to them, but I don't necessarily turn them off if they
you're
pop
banned
on a radio or playlist or whatever.
You're blocked as a guest. No longer welcome on our show.
Yeah, I think that was a no, Paulie.
Yeah, it was definitely a no.
It was a nice no, but I think it was a no.
I have one album of theirs, I think.
Oh, all right. All right, little gray area then. He purchased an album. Okay. Mike, it's great to talk to you. We missed you last week. Let's talk ACC Media Day, the kickoff event down in Charlotte. Anything stand out to you from what Fran said or what the players had to say?
Nothing too crazy about what they said. I thought Fran's comment about "I see what y'all write, keep that same energy" was kind of funny. The thing that I found most notable was the fact that they announced him as Fred Brown. It's his third time doing this, and they couldn't get his name right. I mean, they didn't get it wrong the first two times he did it, so I'm not sure exactly what happened there. But otherwise, it was pretty status quo. I think they think they're better than what a lot of the pundits do, and They have a lot of confidence in the guys they have. They think that they have more depth at quarterback than what they've had, and they're excited about the new coaches. So kind of pretty status quo other than them screwing up Fran Brown's name.
One thing Fran mentioned was that Calvin Russell will play this year. He was adamant about that he didn't want to put a date on it because he didn't want to be backed into a corner. But he said that he will be back and he will be on the field this year. Do you think Calvin Russell will actually play in 2026?
Yes, I do. And there's a couple of things here. First, there's no more red shirts, right, with the 5-for-5 rule. So you don't have to really worry about, we're going to lose a year of eligibility if he ends up playing just 5 games. That doesn't really matter. So if you can get him back for, 5 games, half a season, or even the last 4 games in a bowl game, you do it and you don't even think twice about it. You don't have to worry about that aspect of it, which is a good thing. The other thing is, as we know, with the transfer portal, you're always recruiting the guys that are currently on your team, right? Because those that are good, other teams are going to try to poach from you. And Calvin Russell is someone that I think, regardless of whether he plays or not, given his accolades out of high school, someone is going to try to talk him into, hey, look, you went there for a year, you got hurt, maybe there's a bad taste in your mouth, why don't you come here and, we'll throw some more money at you. This, I think, is part of the recruiting him and making sure that he knows he's a major priority in what they want to do offensively for the program, and I think it's all kind of plays into that.
The national perception around this team is not great at the moment. Very negative, right? The over-under set at 4.5 wins. ESPN's Bill Conley, his metric has Syracuse with about a 25% chance of making a bowl game. What do you make of these preseason predictions? Should SU fans be concerned, I guess, going into the new season? Or do you think most of it is, well, they're coming off a 3-win year, and, that's kind of what preseason predictions are. It's, what were you last year? And they obviously were awful last year.
Yeah, I feel like outside of, maybe 10 to 15 programs, whenever you get these national things that are sort of doing previews for every single team across the country, about 3/4 of the ones that they do, they just sort of look at what they did last year, say, well, did they add anyone that was a huge name, in my opinion, that would make me change my opinion of what they were last year? No, okay, then I'm going to predict something similar to what they did last year. And that's not necessarily a slight on anyone. If you're a college football analyst and your job is to put out a preview for essentially every single Power 4 team in the country, it's impossible to know every single team's roster in depth, inside and out, so that you can feel as good or not as good as what maybe the local media does in that area. It's just not possible to have that level of expertise on every single program. So I'm not really surprised by the fact that everyone is pretty much predicting that Syracuse is going to be what they were the year before. And I wouldn't pay too much attention to it. I certainly don't.
All right, Mike, if Syracuse is able to exceed expectations this year and get above that 4.5 win total, make it to a bowl game, so on and so forth, it's because what? Blank. Fill in the blank for us.
Steve Angeli stays healthy. I think that's, I guess, well, I'll put an and to it. Steve Angeli stays healthy, and the new defensive coordinator is the real deal. That's kind of what I put it. Because even the last 2 years, even if you look back 2 years ago when they won 10 games with Kyle McCord, et cetera, the defense was good at times, but wasn't great for most of the season. They still had their issues, and I think certain personnel like Fidel Diggs and a couple other guys masked some of the issues that they had. But this new defensive coordinator is the real deal. Steve Angeli stays healthy all season. You assume that he's going to kind of pick up where he was last year. Now he's got an entire offseason in the offense. He was brand new last year, wasn't there for the full offseason. I think that you could have an offense that's starting to click like we saw it against Clemson, and then a defense that is significantly improved from what we've seen the last 2 years. That, to me, seems like a bowl team.
If Syracuse football misses a bowl game and doesn't get to the 4.5 wins, it's because what? Fill in the blank there. Is it if Steve Angeli gets hurt?
Yeah, just I guess the opposite of those things, right? Just to play something different, I guess we'll say the offensive line doesn't come together, and the pass rushing improvements we think they made on paper don't pan out. Because I think everyone, even national media that might be predicting 4 or 5 wins, whatever it is, looks at Syracuse's secondary and says that's a pretty talented secondary, especially at corner, right? They think that Syracuse has 2 NFL prospects in Samuel and Peel at its cornerbacks. That's a pretty good place to start. But an issue they've had outside of Fidel Diggs 2 years ago, they haven't been able to put pressure on the quarterback consistently. We think they've made improvements there with several of the additions, the Keyshawn Johnsons, the kid from UNLV, some others. We think they've made improvements there, and if the defensive coordinator is the real deal, as I said, then that would seem to come to fruition. You'd be putting more pressure on the quarterback, which can lead to turnovers and more third and longs and those types of situations. If not, even if Vince Karras is a really good defensive coordinator, if you're not getting pressure on opposing quarterbacks at the Power 4 level, it's going to be really tough to keep teams from moving the ball on you.
One of the guys that Vince Karras will be relying on defense this year is Demetrius Samuel. He was down at ACC Media Day down in Charlotte, and he reiterated that the plan is for him to continue to try and play both sides of the ball. Should he be playing both sides of the ball? And do you think we're actually going to see him, play meaningful time at receiver?
I think there's potential he could see meaningful time at receiver. I don't have an issue with him doing it. He did it last year, not a ton, but it didn't seem to take away from what he was as a corner. I think that's his best position, but I do think it's interesting to see him, jump over to the offensive side every now and then. The thing that's going against him is that Syracuse's wide receiver group might be at the deepest position on the roster, even without Calvin Russell. I think they've got several players who are really good. They may not have, outside of Russell, the one standout elite level that we know of right now. Maybe someone turns into that. But they've got a number of players that they really like that were either productive in the past or flashed some moments and, were young and are continuing to develop, that it's tough to take some of those guys off the field. So that's sort of the challenge that he's up against from an offensive standpoint.
You mentioned the wide receiver position group. Who are some guys and maybe a position group or two that we're not talking enough about? Is there an underrated unit on this team or an underrated player or two on this team that you've got your eye on going into the season?
I think linebacker might be underrated. Chris D'Apollonia, the kid who transferred over from Toledo, I think he's got the potential to be really good. He knows the system, obviously. He's comfortable with the coaches as a result of his time at Toledo. I think he's someone that could end up being really good for Syracuse this year. But a group that I'm looking at, I think there's enough running back, even though there may not be a standout. I think they've got 3 or 4 guys that they really like. I'm most intrigued by tight end because I have no idea what they're going to do at that position. How much is Clement going to play? They got the transfer that's coming in. They've got a couple others that were young, highly thought of recruits that haven't played a ton. They don't have Dan Bellari there anymore. I'm not exactly sure what that position is going to look like, so I'm kind of intrigued to see what they do with the tight end position this season.
We've heard Brian Blair talk about weaponizing the dome, especially from a football perspective. What do you think? Do you have any ideas of what can be done to better the atmosphere on a game day, whether it's football or basketball? I guess football, since we're creeping closer to the season opener. But when you hear Brian Blair say that, do you have any ideas in terms of how to execute that?
Well, I think the biggest thing for me, if you're going to weaponize the dome, to me, that means making it difficult on opponents. And that, to me, starts with the noise level. I remember going to games with my dad when I was a kid, and obviously that was late 80s into the 90s, and so there were a lot of good teams, both basketball and football, and lacrosse for that matter, during that era. And so you go and you felt like your team had a chance every single time that you went. But I remember sitting next to my dad, and during some, peak moments of the game, the crowd is so loud that we couldn't hear each other sitting right next to each other. And that's when he says weaponize the dome, I think about getting back to that. Now, it starts with getting people there. You can have loud crowds even if it's half full, but when you're packed or close to capacity and you've got everyone into it, that's when it really gets to that next level where, you scare Steve Spurrier from leaving the state of Florida for decades upon decades, based on what he experienced when he brought Florida up to the Dome and things of that nature. That's immediately what I think of. And I think it starts with getting people there, which you can do a lot of things from a game day atmosphere, game day presentation perspective. But if the team isn't winning, it doesn't matter how good all that other stuff is. It's not going to be a consistent capacity type crowd. So if you win and you work on some of those amenities, I think you can get it back to that.
Couple basketball questions, Mike, before we let you go. Give us a recruiting update. I know that you wrote an article today about some official visitors that are coming to campus soon. What can you tell us?
Yeah, Syracuse basketball has 3 players that are going to be coming to the Syracuse campus starting in late August and over about the next couple of weeks after that. It starts with Ahmed Noor, who is a 4-star small forward. He's got a ton of schools after him. He's going to be a tough one, I think, for Syracuse to land. But he's also got officials set to Ole Miss, Purdue, and Washington. He's got Alabama, Kansas, Michigan State, Texas among those also recruiting him. So a lot of those schools obviously are teams that have been really good, teams that have deep pockets, teams that recruit really well. So that makes it obviously, difficult to go up against those schools. But at the same time, you don't have a shot unless you get them on campus, and they will in late August. Then you get to September 1st, and you've got Ian Condon, a 4-star forward who plays at Sidwell Friends in Washington, D.C. He's a really interesting one. Siena was one of the first schools to offer him last December, and that was obviously when Jerry McNamara was the coach there. They stayed in contact with him. They re-offered him when they got up here to Syracuse. Condon, at the time that Syracuse offered him, was just a 3-star, well outside of the top 100. He has since earned a 4th star and moved into the top 100 in terms of the 247 Sports rankings. He's got official visits in addition to Syracuse set to Boston College, Notre Dame, and Northwestern, and NC State is also expected to get one. He also recently got an offer from Georgia Tech, so they're going to try to get him on campus. I think Syracuse has a legitimate shot there because of their established relationship, but I know schools like Boston College and NC State are going to be making a big push for him. And then lastly, on September 11th, you've got Jalen Lyons, who might be their number 1 target regardless of position in this class. 4-star point guard that plays at Clinton Grace Christian in Maryland. And he's someone, like I said, he's Syracuse's top priority. Maryland also has him as their top priority. So I think it's going to be a Syracuse-Maryland battle, but Syracuse certainly in a good spot and have a legitimate shot with him.
How about one scheduling question? Colgate back on the slate officially. Do you like that? You like having Colgate back in the mix?
Yeah, I think Colgate and Cornell should be there every year. Just they used to be for so long. Feels like there's enough room in the schedule that you can get both of those on the schedule and still be okay as far as scheduling some more intriguing, highly ranked type of non-conference games like the Indianas and the UConns and all those types of things. You got your ACC, SEC challenge, and you're going to get all those types of things that you can still schedule while also getting the Colgates and the Cornells. And I think it's a good thing for both programs, and it was nice to see them back added to the non-conference schedule.
And then lastly, Mike, we do know the rest of the TBT roster now. What are your TBT expectations with it all starting up tomorrow night?
It's interesting because I looked at the roster and my first thought was, do they have enough front court depth, specifically at center? And I think they're going to play a little bit of small ball at times, and maybe 3 forwards instead of a true center at times. But they've got some shooting, obviously, with Buddy and a couple of the other guys. So I'm intrigued to see what they look like. I'm intrigued to see what Eric Diemendorf looks like, getting him back out on the court. But it's always fun to see the former Syracuse guys all connecting across generations and seeing how it all plays out. So intrigued. I like the format of having a series to start. I think that, takes the risk of potentially just one game and you're done and all that hype and excitement and chatter for, a couple hours and then all of it's gone. So you at least got 2 games, which is a good thing, and we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, it does give you a chance to work out the kinks, right? If you happen to play really poorly in your first game, all thrown together, you at least get that opportunity to make up for it in games 2 and 3. And Boeheim's Army again opens up tomorrow night on the road in New Jersey, and then we'll have game 2 for you right here on ESPN Radio Thursday and then Friday if necessary. Pre-game 6:45 both nights. Tip time set for 7. Mike, as always, we appreciate the time. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Mike McAllister joining us here on the program. We'll hit a timeout. We'll check in on the market, and then we'll hit the top of the hour, Paulie.
All right. My band Underrated Unit is going to be opening for Fish tomorrow, Steve. I don't know if you know that.
I didn't know that. I know you've got a 45 for us, so we'll get into that on the other side. We'll check in on the market, and we'll hit the top of the hour. Back after this on ESPN Radio.
So I guess I will be at Fish tomorrow because I'm opening for them. Why are we talking about the TBT when a 1-0 soccer game happened yesterday?
Well done. Good hustle.
I don't want to go see fish. Yes, we have a show, Florida guy, where we take vacations too, like everybody else on Earth. Soundgarden's our artist of the day, and I have no idea why, but they did something on this day. Pretty new, Steve.
All right, let's check in on the market. Let's go to Bill from Lee Baldwin and Company. Bill, how's the market doing today on a Monday?
The markets are doing pretty good today after a pretty volatile week last week. The S&P and NASDAQ are bouncing back 0.5%. The Dow is actually in negative territory, but we do have plenty of diamonds. I'm going to go with Adidas, who they said is one of the big winners from the World Cup here in the U.S. Stock's modestly higher today, but up over 30% in the last couple months. As they have some pretty good ads with the 3-on-3 street court soccer commercials, even with Messi, I saw the other day. So I thought that was a pretty good ad for Adidas. And then on the downside, we have Oracle. So software is still very weak due to AI and concerns AI will hurt software sales in the future. Oracle's down 3% to a 52-week low, a 2-year low. So that sector still struggles, but overall, pretty nice day.
All right, Bill. Thanks for the info. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All the diamonds, none of the dogs. Be sure to visit LeeBaldwin.com.
I went out and bought some Sambas and a pair of Umbro shorts, Steve, because of the World Cup.
You did not.
I did, reliving my youth. Did you have Umbro shorts as a kid?
No, it was very much a soccer thing. I didn't play soccer.
People used to just wear Umbro shorts.
Yeah. Soccer guys did.
Sambas? Yeah. Did you have a pair of Sambas?
No.
It was kind of just a cool thing to wear. I didn't ever wear them, but I never owned a pair of Umbro shorts. Steve, I went to see a guy named Weird Al Yankovic.
I'm aware.
Yankovic, whatever it is, at the AMP on Friday of the week before, so 2 Fridays ago. And it was a spectacular show. Out of 5, I gave it a 4.5. It was spectacular. He's in his late 60s now. I mean, he does costume changes throughout the show, right? And just high energy. And his opening act, Puddle's Pity Party, which sounds like a stupid name, is probably one of the most talented people I've ever seen. Just what a voice on that guy.
Is that right?
Yeah. I didn't know what to expect. I thought it was going to be a dumb clown, and it's just a clown that has a great voice.
So as we established that week when he was Artist of the Day, he's got like over 300 songs. Did he play your favorites?
He played nothing but hits.
Well, he's got a lot to pick from. So
he did a melody in the middle where he played bang, 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 bang. Just one hit
check
after
off the list of a few of them. Yeah. Right.
It was great.
Great. Glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah. If you get a chance, just Google Puddle's Pity Party. Dude has one of the best voices I've ever heard live.
Okay.
He was a finalist on America's Got Talent. Who'd I go with? I went with Josh from K-Rock. It was a great show. Are you going to take a shot at me for not having a girl go to Weird Al with me?
You're not talking to me, are you?
No, I'm talking about our chat. Like,
No.
Josh is married and couldn't even get his wife to go with him.
Yeah, Weird Al is definitely an acquired taste.
Yeah, so someone asked what kind of ladies went to Weird Al. There weren't a lot. I was, I don't normally think highly of my own looks, Steve, but I was Brad Pitt at that concert.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. A lot of dudes dressed up like Dr. Demento and wearing weird outfits. It was something else.
So I sat down to watch the soccer game yesterday, and I get a text from my old boss at Channel 9, and he sent me those two pictures back to back.
Yeah, I've gotten multiple texts. Someone was at a grocery store, and there was a messy thing, and they're like, dude, this looks just like you.
Yeah,
and I don't like it.
So he sent me a picture of Paulie from probably 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and a picture of Messi. And there's definitely a resemblance.
Yeah, I wish I looked like someone who played a real sport. Although we are both about the same height, too.
Oh.
Which soccer is the only sport I could probably play at my size.
There are worse people to look like than Messi. I mean, he's the best. He's the GOAT, as the kids would say.
I'd rather look like a man. Not a flopper. He walked off the pitch for the last time, possibly, Steve.
Potentially, yes, potentially. Potentially for the World Cup. I mean, he would be, 43 next time around. So, yeah, that was probably it.
San Diego Q says you could be a jockey. I always thought that, Steve.
Well, you would have to ride a horse, though.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
But I would have to be an athlete to do any of these things. Like, I would have to know how to play soccer if I wanted to play soccer. But I could be a jockey? No, I couldn't. I told you this, we were at a steakhouse in Louisville, and they had the jockey outfits. I couldn't get a leg in the damn thing.
Yeah, jockeys are typically around between 4'10" and 5'6". They typically weigh 108 to 115 pounds.
I do not. I am in the height range. I would be like the tallest jockey ever. And then I also would be the fattest jockey ever.
If a pickup basketball game broke out after a race,
oh my God,
I would be the center.
I would either be
dump it down low to Paulie.
I would be a power forward or a center in the jockey basketball league.
If you did starting fives after the race,
I would be bodying people in that league.
All right, let's hit a timeout. We're going to drive into our second hour next on ESPN Radio.
Gaper, how much do I live in your head that you just talk about everything about me nonstop? It's psycho behavior. Spatch and Louise, no, they were hanging up next to me, and like they are, like the waist on it was like this wide, like it's tiny. Timu Messi, that's funny. Who said that? That is funny. There's a Temu, whatever the hell it is.
Oh, yeah, we can do that here.
You don't worry about what we're doing, Mr. Producer. Here, Steve, I'll share this with you. Here's Paul.
Millions of people living as foes. Mental wounds not healing.
He does that.
I'm going off the rails on a crazy train. I've listened to preach, to rule and
this is
who and what's to blame. I'm going off the rails on a crazy train.
No.
So like a clown and sing and not just sing? Sing? You want to get back to Angeli here?
He did a cover of Under Pressure, and he had a kid from the crowd come up, and he was, you know where they say eat it up? He was making him fucking eat ho-hos while he was doing it. It was really funny. Spoon Man, Steve. It's a great song. Great bump, right?
That is a great bump. I would agree with that.
I'm still trying to think of a new open song for us. I still think Opposites Attract by Paul Abdul might be my pick.
Do I get like veto power? Can we like listen to it together?
You don't get veto power.
No,
you don't get it unless you're making it.
Will my suggestions be heard or no?
Sure. What do you think?
No, I don't know. I would like to.
I like The Mission by Special Ed too. That's a possibility.
I do like that.
Okay, that could be a possible. But I think Opposites Attract fits us. Maybe we'll let the chats pick YouTube or what our next opening song should be.
I'd love to hear it with all the clips and see how it plays. I guess that's what I'm saying.
But no.
I would love to hear it before.
Have you ever done that before?
I did, as a matter of fact.
Well,
Jordan played.
Jordan doesn't work here anymore.
Okay, all right, fine. That's why I was asking. So
Bill Shaw says, "I got you, babe." Michael Antonio says, "The Odd Couple theme song." Okay, I'll try it with everything. I'm not scared to try things. You don't get any say, Steve.
Okay, then don't ask my opinion.
You think that you have some part in this show?
I'd like to think that. I did at 12:30 when I just held a 20-minute interview with Mike McAllister and you didn't say a word. So
yeah, I was napping.
All right, we're driving into our second hour.
That's a possibility. I'll try it. We'll see how it sounds.
Driving into our second hour, brought to you by Burdick BMW of Cicero and Burdick Toyota. Let's get back to the SU football talk.
Speaking of reigning men,
heard from Fran Brown at the top of the show. Let's hear from Steve Angeli. And everybody wants to know about his health. We played that clip from him from a couple of weeks ago when he was helping to work at that youth camp that was on campus. And he said if there was a game tomorrow, I'd be able to play, no restrictions, so on and so forth. And again, he was asked about his health, Paulie.
I have footwork.
Okay.
I have defensive coordinator.
Well, then I will paraphrase. He essentially said the same thing that he told us a couple of weeks back. He is 100% ready to go. He's back running around again. He's doing drills. He's working out, practicing. Obviously, nobody's touching. No contact right now, and I'm sure that they're going to continue that up until the season. But he's good to go. It doesn't sound like the health is any issue at all for Steve Angeli, which is very much a good thing. Why don't we jump into the other injured member of the offense, and that's Calvin Russell. We alluded to him a little bit earlier. Fran Brown responded to the criticism of getting him involved and having him catch passes on a scooter. Steve Angeli also talked about his relationship with Calvin Russell and how he felt like he became kind of a mentor to Calvin Russell as they went through their rehab together.
Yeah, it's tough. The day that happened, I was sick to my stomach. I couldn't even sleep. Calvin, as soon as he came in, he's one of the most energized guys. Even during his injury now, while he's rehabbing, he still is the most upbeat. He's so positive. He does everything the right way. And when he got hurt, I started to pick him up in the morning and drive him to the facility for rehab. So we were together throughout it all. And to me, he's like a little brother. Everything that he's doing and trying to get healthy, I'm happy that I'm there for him to kind of show him the way and make sure he knows, it took me 9-10 months to get where I'm at. You're younger than me. You're a better athlete. You're going to be able to get there faster.
You never like to see anybody get hurt. And I would assume that he was on set there with the ACC
that
Network.
Was hysterical.
Those were the extra voices and laughter you heard in the background. You never like to see anybody get hurt. I think that they have both benefited from each other, though. The fact, Paulie, that they've had a chance to go through it together, I think has probably helped them both mentally and physically.
Yeah. And he's right. Like, hey, I went through this. Let's, I'll help you get through it, and that's what teammates do, Steve. Like, if you're hurt, I would never make fun of you.
Never.
I would help you through it.
Never.
As a teammate. Which one do you want to go to next, Steve?
Let's hear from Steve Angeli about some of the skill position guys that have stood out to him through the offseason workouts to this point.
That you guys probably saw in 2024 was Umari Hatcher, a guy that was a little banged up last year, wasn't playing much. This guy's going to be an electric player for us this year. Darius Johnson, another guy. Tyshawn Russell, some of our new transfers, Cole Weavers, Amandre Merriweather. There's a really deep group of receivers I can't even name, but all those guys have done a lot for us, especially at tight end with David Clement, Noah Myers, all our pass catchers, all our skill positions. Those guys are going to be electric for us this year.
I'm high on Hatcher.
Yeah, I know you are.
I think when we did the positional preview Wednesday, I picked him for the most catches, I think.
Yeah,
so, I'm high on him.
I think you did. And I think they've got a lot of talent in that wide receiver room, as we've discussed, a lot of different options. Who's going to step up? And, Hatcher's a guy who's been here. To Steve's point, he went through some injuries of his own, and now he's healthy and ready to have a breakout year.
Last week, Steve, on Wednesday, I felt like empty inside because we didn't do a positional preview.
Oh, okay.
Wednesday.
I was like, where's he going with this? I know you didn't miss me because you wouldn't even return a phone call.
No, I did miss Tim Leonard.
I'm a little salty about that.
I did miss Tim Leonard in positional preview Wednesday.
I know you could tell that you got under my skin a little bit by not calling me back, but it's okay. It's okay. We'll work through it. All right, let's hear from Steve Angeli on the defense. New defensive coordinator Vince Karras, and a good defense is going to help the offense, right? Go ahead. What were you going to say?
And Mike McAllister said it during your long interview you did with him, Steve. Great job on that, by the way. That this is, if he's the real deal, the team's going to be okay. I think. If this defense plays like he did at his last gig in Toledo, they'll be okay.
Multiple. They do a lot defensively. They kind of live in worlds of pressure and man. They also have different type of zone looks. I think our third down package is great. Really everything that they've been able to do is play to our strengths on defense. We have great players at corner, great players at safety. I think our D-line has improved tremendously, and then our linebacker core is pretty deep. So a lot of those guys are going to be able to play in different personnels, different formations, and really just play fast and play free.
Multiple.
Yeah. One of my favorite Coach P-isms.
Yes, he would say that
about
all
everybody.
The time. Yes, everybody was multiple. Man, miss Coach P. Having him around. Yeah, I think the defense, it seems like it's going to be improved, right? I mean, I think from the defensive backfield perspective, it looks like they're going to be really, really good.
And Mike seemed to think that the linebackers were underrated unit.
Yeah. And can they put pressure on the quarterback? I think that that might be the biggest question for that unit, for that underrated unit, Paulie.
Mm-hmm. You ready for the last sound?
Yes.
You said underrated unit, Steve, and I didn't even smile.
Yes, you did. No, you did. Don't lie.
I went through it.
You did smile.
All right. Here's Steve Angeli on his improving footwork under new QB coach.
I think bringing in Sean Ryan as our new quarterback coach, he's done a lot with my footwork, a lot of things to help me speed up, kind of lower my sack rate, get the ball out, and make sure I can get the ball out on time to our guys. We have a plethora of playmakers all over. My job is to get them the ball, and our offensive line has been great protecting me throughout everything. We've got some new additions, some guys that have done a lot this offseason, and for me, it was really just making sure my footwork has been good, my progressions are still there, and playing on time.
I'm excited to see what he looks like in the fall.
See if it wasn't a fluke where he was when he got
hurt. And listen, I mean, I think once he warmed up, and kind of shook off the rust. I mean, we saw what he did at the end of that UConn game, and we saw what he did for 3 quarters against Clemson. And I know Clemson, isn't the national title contender that it has been in recent years, but that's still Clemson, and it's on the road. And he was having a great month, and on pace to do what Kyle McCord had done the year prior. I can't wait to see what he looks like healthy, with a healthy offensive line in front of him, and see what can be done. So, I still stand by the prediction. I think this team's going to get to a bowl game. I think they'll get to 6 or 7 wins, and I think Fran Brown finds a way to get them back in the postseason.
There's so many what ifs that I tend to agree with you, but I wouldn't put money on it. That makes sense.
It does make sense.
I feel that way, but it's just the quarterback's got to be good. Like, everybody's got to be good. It's not like we know this guy's going to be good or this is going to be good. It's like everybody's got to be good, and we don't know if.
Yeah, I think there is a path where this could go sideways, and we saw what happened last year, right? And the path is, especially if the starting quarterback's not there, it could very easily go sideways.
Well, we'll know in the first 4 weeks if it's gone sideways or not.
Yeah, we keep talking about that Cal game. That Cal game
and Pitt.
Yeah,
like you got to win one of those two.
Yeah, and Cal's up first, and it's at home, and that is a team that is on your level. They're 2 middle-of-the-road ACC teams right now, and it's in your place early in the year. That is a really big one, as we've discussed. That could be a swing game to the season, in terms of you win it. Now you're off to a good start. You got some momentum. You lose it, and, it's going to be an uphill battle the rest of the way. Let's put it like that.
Steve, what was that?
Well, I already said, but we were driving into our second hour, and it's
correct.
Brought to you by Burdick BMW.
I'm just trying to buy some time here.
Burdick Toyota. Remember, we've got a couple of TBT games coming up later this week.
Also, Steve, we've got tickets to see Toto.
Oh, okay.
Christopher Cross and the Romantics
Let's go.
the AMP on Saturday. And I will be at that show also, Steve. I'm a concert-going fool lately. I'm a social butterfly. This is who I want to see.
It's a good song.
They're all good, Steve. I just blew my own eardrums out there. Ride Like the Wind, Sailing. Come on.
Yeah.
Arthur's theme.
Good stuff.
Yeah. The Romantics are good. Talking in Your Sleep. What I Like About You.
Better say something nice about Toto.
Toto's great.
You're going to get a phone call.
Toto's great. Hold the Line, Steve. Africa. Rosanna.
Yep.
It's just going to be a hit-filled show.
Yes, sounds like
and
it.
You can go. 315-437-7644. Caller number 5 right now. Tim will take your call, and you're going to Toto. And you might even be in my section. What an honor. You hear me singing, if you get caught between the moon and you. Me and Indy will be there.
Did your tickets come from the same same lot?
Yeah, I stole a pair.
Yeah, so
I'm not above stealing, Steve.
You could very well be in the same section.
Yeah, I will steal
Might
a
be
pair.
sitting next to Paulie. All right, we'll hit a timeout here. We'll bring in Tim Leonard on the other side. Phone lines remain open if you want to check in, 315-437-7644. We're back after this on ESPN Radio.
How dare you, San Diego Q's? Best of the dentist office jams. I went into Dollar General out on Old Liverpool Road looking for poop bags yesterday, Steve.
I know you did. I thought that was going to be the 45. I kept waiting. And
I haven't gotten to it yet. I'll interrupt Tim's. Like, you know how I like to interrupt when Tim's talking with just nonsense? I'll probably bring up poop bags. Is there a poop bag shortage, chat? Because I can't find poop bags anywhere. I had to order them off Amazon. And I'm rolling the dice here. I'm into my emergency car poop bags.
Well, Amazon would. It's going to take a day or two.
Yeah. I don't actually poop in the bag, Super Cat. That's funny. Yeah, I had to order them, but I went to 4 stores yesterday. 4 stores in 7 years looking for poop bags. Nobody had them. I was wondering if dogs got the diarrhea parasite that was spreading to dogs now. By the way, who's pooping on the salad? Like, how does that happen? That's a legitimate question in 2026. Who's pooping on the salad? How did poop get in the salad, Steve? I think people are pooping in the fields or at the factory. They're just pooping in the factory on it. That's my take. I've never stepped into the freezer and it shows. What does that mean? Do you know what that means, Steve? I mean, I worked at Friendly's. I stepped into the freezers there all the time. You ever get caught between the moon and New York City?
No. Our caller did say that he's with you and he's sick of the World Cup talk.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm an American. That guy is a true American. That guy probably walks around town with the Hulk Hogan theme music playing behind him because he's a real American.
You really didn't watch any of it yesterday?
No. I was watching the Padres game. The frig would I watch that for? There's zero interest.
Thinking maybe we would discuss it today.
No, I don't want to discuss. What does stepping into the freezer mean? Did I miss something? Do I have to Google that? Oh, it's a Fish lyric. Oh, so I have not. I have bounced. Is that their song? Bounce Around the Room? Yeah, that's their only popular one. Fish.
I wonder if that would be top 7.
Sample in a Jar. That sounds more like the poop That should be the Poop Parasite theme song. Sample in a Jar, Steve. Get it? Because you got the Poop Parasite. The blue ones are out at your desk. We'll kill time. I'll talk about Sample in a Jar. I didn't say the rest of the world was wrong. I said Americans don't care. The rest of the world cares. So don't misquote me, bitch. If I ever went to prison, Steve, this would be my song. Like, I'd be sitting in my cell, and this would be playing in the background. Fell on Black Days. Soundgarden's good. This good votes, Tim. Congratulations. You did
Good bump back music.
You did good. You did good. For
Dogged Coldplay so much.
Yeah.
Did you see? Well, actually, why would I ask this? You didn't watch the World Cup final, but the Coldplay main guy, Chris Martin, was in the halftime show. Yet,
I heard that
Coldplay is only as popular as Nickelback.
I heard that got panned pretty widely. The halftime show.
Why is that?
I don't know.
I liked it.
Was Madonna in it?
She was.
Madonna.
Yeah. She kind of led things off. Yeah.
She looks,
Shakira.
She looks different.
Bieber was in it.
Shakira is still 49. Looking
Bieber kind of like played a slow. It was good, but it was.
Yeah. It definitely changed the energy of the show.
Yes, right.
Yeah. Right in the middle of it, too.
Yeah. Slow acoustic guitar song.
Did Shakira's hips lie?
They did not.
They never lie.
Yeah.
Really? Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah. Shakira, I was amazed. She's still got it.
She's solid. Yeah. Good scouting report on her. Yeah. She's like LeBron
Still
James.
got the fastball.
You should have watched.
She's like LeBron James.
Yeah.
She doesn't age.
Would you want Shakira on your team, or would that ruin the chemistry?
The rumor is that he. See, this is why. Okay, can we lead with this? Like, this is why I don't.
Yes, we are.
This is why I don't want LeBron. I don't want LeBron James on the team. Like, just freaking announce where you're going. Not everything's like he's dropping hints in a podcast and Fanatics. But shut up and pick a team. You're not bigger than the game.
Yeah, I think he's strategic with what gets him in the limelight the longest. And his agent's got that podcast you're talking about where Rich Paul is saying, here are the 7 teams that he would go to. And it is a little bit of a long drag to get to where he's going, I guess.
It is,
a
but
slow drip.
You act like he's the only one who does it. Right?
He is.
Well,
just pick a team.
We see it with college recruiting all the time, where guys will, I have my final.
Look at Calvin Russell.
And he never went to college,
but
obviously.
LeBron's an adult.
I get it. I'm just saying that you make it sound like he's the only one that's about himself. I think there are plenty of NBA superstars that are about themselves.
Yeah, and it's a media circus. Just announce it. Shut up. Then go play and win.
But
it's been a while since you won.
That can't be the reason that you don't want him. Like this is why I don't want LeBron on the Sixers.
That is exactly why I don't want him on the team.
But on the court, he's not like that.
LeBron is exhausting. That is correct.
You still would rather him on your team than not.
He hasn't won much lately. Thank you. All right, what do you got, Tim?
Well, we got today's business. It's brought to you by Superior Plus Propane. It is TBT Boeheim's Army Week. We've talked about it some. You guys are going to be on the call Thursday, and then if there is another game here at the War Memorial on Friday, if necessary for a Game 3, you will have the call for that one as well.
I've been doing my scouts.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have, yeah.
I've been breaking it down.
You know all about Ty Nichols and Tyson Walker. You were watching the film last night.
Why is Ty Nichols significant?
Because, yes.
You should know this one. I don't think I called this game last year. I remember you guys did the first game last year.
That's right.
So maybe you're good luck. You did the win. I did the loss.
Did they win one last year? Because I felt like
they did, because we interviewed Buddy after the game.
Oh, yeah.
Buddy and Elijah had a huge first game, and then Elijah Hughes really struggled in the second game.
We had Jim Boeheim on at halftime. We had Buddy on afterwards. They definitely
so why
won.
should I know?
Because he was on the
D3?
We Are D3 team.
He scored, I shouldn't know the D3 roster.
Hang on. He scored 36 points.
Yeah, you watched it. He lit us up. He scored the game winning.
If you can't beat him, join him.
Well, yeah. It's kind of the other way around, but yeah. Right.
Yeah, he beat him, then he joined them.
Right.
Well, they kind of took him.
Right.
Yeah.
If he beats you, join him.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, that's better. So, yeah, TBT this week. And, I think point guard looked like it was going to be an issue when the Cuse guys were first announced. That seems to have been rectified. One question that I know Mike McAllister had, and I think we collectively have talked about as well, is do they have enough size down low? We'll find out. It's a different kind of game where you could play a little bit smaller, I think. And they're going to have to, because they don't have much of the way of true size down low.
They're going to be very reliant on the shooting of this team.
Yeah,
I think Ty Nichols might be their best player if he is any bit as good as he was last year. And then Buddy Boeheim has been very good in this tournament. Elijah Hughes has had some really good games. I'd imagine Cole Swider will be very good.
Yeah.
So that's maybe 4 of your 5 starters, what I just named. Maybe they go more into the non-alums for the starters, but that is a small starting lineup, a 3-point heavy team, I think is what we're looking at.
Very interested to see what you get out of Wes Johnson, too. What he looks like.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in a while.
We'll play back in a little bit a comment Jim Boeheim had from last week when he was on the ESPN broadcast for the Summer League games and he was watching Buddy, but he was joking when they asked him about, Buddy and Jimmy are going to be playing together. Boeheim's Army starts up next week. He was like, we got Wes Johnson on the team, and I don't know how he's going to do. He was kind of like, he's going out of retirement, and I know he's in good shape, but I don't know how good a shape he's in. So he was sort of joking about
There's
it.
always one guy like that on the team, like Rakeem Christmas last year.
And Devo's on this squad, and Devo has said that he's played more basketball than he has in past years. But some of it too, I think, is in order to hit the threshold to make yourself an alumni team, you need alums, right, who are willing to be on the roster. And so maybe Wes and Devo are there in part to, again, provide veteran leadership, provide some depth. But I don't know if they're necessarily going to be relying on those guys. To your point, Tim, you might be relying on some of the non-SU guys a little bit more, a little bit heavier in the rotation.
Yeah, we do know the coach, by the way, if anyone missed that. It's not the head coach of the Magic. ChatGPT was wrong. Thomas Bridges is going to be the head coach of Boeheim's Army. He has a relationship with Sean Belby. You might remember when Sean Belby was on recently, he sort of teased his accolades and his connection. Belby is the GM, of course. He's also going to be on the bench as an assistant coach, and Pete Corson-Needy, who is still at Syracuse and one of the holdovers, and basically like the director of operations for so many years, and now in kind of that new role with SU basketball will be an assistant coach for Boeheim's Army as well.
I don't normally get that, oh my God, I'm old thing, but the fact that Wes Johnson is 39.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
And like Jerry's the head coach.
Carmelo's son is on the team,
Yeah,
Paulie.
yeah. That one's not as bad. Like,
really?
Yeah, because you could have a kid young. It's just like Wes Johnson feels like he was here 2 years ago.
Yeah.
All right.
Time marches on.
Well, that Summer League ESPN interview with Jim Boeheim, it was Jeremy Lin who was on the call, the color guy. And he was like, I played with Wes Johnson. Like, I'm calling games for a reason now. Yeah. So he was a teammate of mine. But, yeah, that'll be interesting to see Wes Johnson. I think it's a pretty good squad, though. I mean, I'm not going to pretend to know the ins and outs of the Seton Hall roster and the rest of the teams.
I will do that on Thursday.
Right. Paulie will know it all.
They've got Isaiah Whitehead, and he's the lone guy who played NBA basketball. So the Boeheim's Army's got a handful of guys who played in the NBA. Seton Hall has one, and it's him.
Yeah.
He's obviously really good, but I don't know. I think as we've seen through this tournament that you can't take anything for granted, right? Yeah. It doesn't matter what your accolades are, what you look like on paper. You're taking guys who have not played together and putting them together, limited practice time, and then you roll the ball out and you see what it looks like. So, even though Boeheim's Army seems to have a better roster on paper, that doesn't necessarily translate into wins and losses.
I think the 3 games will.
That should help with that. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Like I feel like if Syracuse had played that D3 team 2 more times, they probably would have won. But
yeah, probably be like, hey, we got to guard this Ty Nichols guy, or just recruit him to our side. He could just play with us.
Yeah. They're apparently practicing today, and then their first game will be tomorrow night, break on Wednesday. Remember, Wednesday's that SummerSlam event as well. And then Thursday would be game 2 here at War Memorial. We'll have you covered. We'll have the call on ESPN Radio, 7 p.m. start. You can watch these games on FS1 or FS2, depending on the game. And then Friday, if necessary, would be a game 3. I guess we've talked a little bit about the World Cup and the final game. Paulie probably doesn't want to talk about that much more.
You guys knock it out the park with that. Go ahead. What happened? 1-0.
I guess the one thing that I would come back to, Tim, that I'd be curious to get your thoughts on, the first of the 2 yellow cards that led to the red card, because the second one was definitely a yellow card. The first one, showing up the official, and it didn't even look like he said anything. It just looked like it was kind of like a hand movement, like get out of here type of thing. It got a yellow card for that. I thought the second foul was definitely a yellow that led to the red, but the fact that, he was already on one yellow, I don't know. To me, that seems soft. I wanted to get your thoughts on it because it changed the entire complexion of the game. Yes, Spain was dominating, but it made it more difficult, obviously, for Argentina to get to the PKs.
Yeah, I was going to say, I felt like Spain was already in control of the game anyway. And then actually, it was sort of weird. It was like Argentina got their best chances of the game after the Spain goal. And
that makes sense, though, because then you're
just selling out.
Now you're like, there's no sense in, playing back. It's just you're pushing because you need a goal. Whereas prior to that, it was like, all right, as long as we don't give up a goal, we're going to PKs. That's our best chance to win.
Right. I guess what I'm saying is when they were 11 on 11, they didn't even get a shot off. It was sort of nothing. Yeah. And, I guess, did Messi have a bad game? I don't know. He just didn't really get many looks or many touches.
Well, he doesn't defend because he's old and he's Messi, and so they just never had the ball. Spain just possessed the ball the entire time, and honestly, they were the best team. I mean, Spain deserved to win. I think the two other best teams in this tournament, in my opinion, were France and Argentina. They beat them both, and they gave up one goal the entire tournament. So, I mean, Spain earned it and deserved it, and they deserved to win that game yesterday. If I'm an Argentina fan, I'm upset about that red card because to me the first call should not have been a yellow in my mind. But and then at that point it was like, well, there's no way they're winning this game now.
I'm old and Messi also, Steve.
Well, you look like Messi.
You ready for a kicker?
Yeah.
All right. These are 10 grocery store foods that defined the 1980s, Steve. Tim this is going to be like a foreign.
He's going to be like, what's that?
What the hell? Totino's pizzas. You remember those? Yep. It was before like I'll explain it for Tim. Like, you know how you can buy like a rising crust pizza?
Yeah.
This was like the premier one. It was like Tombstone. You know what a Tombstone pizza is?
No.
Okay. You can still. I think you can still.
You know what pizza is, though.
Yeah, tuna pizza.
Right. Bagel
I like
bites. You remember those?
Of course, I remember bagel bites.
So
those are still defining grocery stores.
Yeah. Those, if you
the
just
breakfast ones.
I was gonna say, if you popped them in right after you made them, you're gonna burn your mouth off. But those are fantastic.
Every kid has their mom made pizza bagels. They run over there and then they burn their face off. That's like a rite of passage.
Ecto Cooler, Steve.
What's that?
Oh, High C Ecto Cooler or Kool-Aid Ecto Cooler. It was just green, like lemon lime Kool-Aid. Ghostbusters. It's like a neon green, looked like slime.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
So good, so good. You're not gonna like this one, Steve. It was like Lunchables, but they were kebabables. Do you remember? Say that fast.
Kebabables.
Do you remember those?
Yes, I do.
It was cheese salami on a wooden stick.
Yes. No sticks for me, please. Thank you.
Kebabables. Cool Ranch Doritos. Those are still around. Those are still a thing. But they came out in the 80s and they kind of took over the world. Do you remember squeezable margarine, Steve? Parquet? Did they still sell Parquet?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big one. Capri Suns.
Of course. I still, to this day, have trouble opening Capri Suns.
That was a big soccer drink.
Yeah.
Wait, you still drink Capri Suns?
Well,
you've got a little one. Yeah,
he does. And he'll go,
okay.
So he went to a birthday party about a year ago, and I was like, oh, man, it's Capri Suns. And he's like, can you open it? He hands it to me. I still had trouble.
Your bugaboo.
It really is, because I always either stab it incorrectly.
You ever hurt yourself opening one?
I've never hurt myself, but
it is a challenge.
I always lose some of the Capri Sun when I open it. Some dribbles out, or I stab it in the wrong place.
I love pizza rolls. They still make them. I haven't had, this might, you know how every once in a while I'll be like, you know what, I'm going to have a pot pie, or I'm going to do this.
Pizza rolls?
I might have to do pizza rolls this week. Those were good. Spray cheese, that's another one Steve's never going to touch. Right?
I did back in the day, not anymore.
You did do spray cheese?
I did.
I don't even like spray cheese. It's so gross.
Spray cheese on crackers? I used to, when I was a lot younger.
When you were a rat boy?
Yes, but not anymore.
And finally, microwave popcorn. I had microwave popcorn last night. I don't get why that, but it was new.
Yeah.
When I think of 80s popcorn, I more think of the air pop.
Yeah. My dad used to make the popcorn in the actual popper.
Yep, that was good.
Yep.
That's more of an 80s thing to me. But there you go, 80s defined.
Yes. Okay. We'll hit a timeout. We've got a little more of today's business on the other side.
The fact that you ate spray cheese to me.
I'm just being honest.
That is suspicious. Of all the suspicious foods to eat, Cheese Whiz out of a can.
Yes, I agree with you as an adult. When I was a kid, I was like, oh, this isn't bad. Just being honest. All right, we'll take a timeout. Tim's going to stay here. We'll be back after this on ESPN Radio.
Yeah, I got it.
You want to use the restroom now so we can bang out overtime?
Do you think your kids and Tim could survive in the 80s? If Steve survived it anyway.
No, because, like, JP can't handle commercials. Like, because everything is, like, streamed now. And, like, anytime there's a commercial, it's like, commercial. Like, he wants you to fast forward
you
it or
didn't
skip
know,
it.
but he would not know. He would just grow up knowing that you had to live through it, though. Like, there would never been a point somebody sped through it.
No, I know, but I'm saying if he had to go back in time,
now?
it would drive him nuts that there's commercials.
How about the fact that you couldn't watch a show? Like,
you had to tune in exactly the right time.
If you missed a TV show, you literally had to wait till the season ended, and then it ran in the reruns.
Yeah, right.
I was talking to my dad this week. He was like, "Hey, I used to play basketball." I don't know, you guys might know when Seinfeld was on. It was like basketball like Thursdays every night, like in a rec league. I never got to see Seinfeld.
Yeah, it's
I
so
think it was
weird.
Thursday night.
It's so weird that Thursday nights were like Seinfeld,
And,
Cheers, Cosby Show, Must See
I
TV.
think Friends was on.
Friends, yeah, all the good sitcoms. They were all. It was Must See TV.
Yeah, it was like back to back. They would put them back to back.
It went Cosby to Another World, right?
Different World.
Different World.
Yeah. It's a great question. Yeah. I purposely went late on
the first. Just do McAllister.
Yeah, but it's got to get to 24 minutes. Trying to cut down what we have to do. We could do the caller. It's fine. I guess so. Yeah.
That's Fran Brown sound in the collar.
The first segment. That's fine.
Three's Company was the 70s, wasn't it? 70s, early 80s.
You didn't hear what I said, but
what
I said? Can you just go to the restroom now so we can bang out?
No,
overtime. But maybe next commercial break.
So the I was looking at this. I was watching a video podcast on time travel because that's what I do on vacation. Seeing that you mentioned that, and the guy was saying, and I don't know if this is true or not, but it seems legit. There's no way you could ever go back in time unless you made the time machine in the past, because you don't have the machine to get back to. Is that you'd have to have a way for the machine to go with you so you could, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the type of stuff I think about. I think social media has ruined everybody. And this chat is a good example of it. It's just people just say whatever the hell they want. Like it's okay. Like shit you would not say in someone's face. I am not breaking it down like I know what I'm talking about drive-by. I'm just saying that that's what the guy said.
Have you talked to Casey Powell for anything yet?
We did, yeah.
Okay.
I didn't personally, but
Quantum Leap was great.
I was off, but Mario interviewed him.
I might try and get him on.
Okay.
There's a lot of scenarios on that show that would not fly now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I just
there's an episode where he
book him if you've already
jumps into a kid with Down syndrome, and it's completely not politically correct now.
Some of the players, or
this guy.
Yeah, we can try and get him.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe try and get Pete this week too, because
yeah.
I mean the schedule's pretty much done, and he's on.
Yeah, right.
It's kind of relevant.
Yeah.
I'm the queen of saying. I say what I don't say anything different that I don't say in person. Ask Steve. I say to Steve exactly what I think. I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
outshine, Steve. We were just talking about how social media has ruined the world, Steve. And people say things that they would not say in person. And I tend to say nothing that I wouldn't say in person. Like I said, take Steve, for example. He asked me he wanted to talk to me over vacation. I said, no, I'm on vacation. I'm not talking to you.
Yeah.
I'm pretty honest with people.
Too honest.
You didn't tell your story of how you were looking for...
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Tim.
sorry.
Tim.
You were looking for something all day yesterday.
Poop bags. They're not available anywhere in the. I ran out of poop bags for my dog. It's a problem. I went to Dollar General, Dollar Tree, Dollar Family. I went to all the dollars. They didn't have them. And then I went to a couple other places, and nobody had them. I went to Walgreens, because just what was by, nobody had them. I don't know if there's a shortage or not. Remember when COVID happened? I don't know if, there's a dog parasite going around.
Today's business, where we talk about dog business. Yeah. Brought to you by Superior Plus Propane.
Am I the only one that's run into this?
Probably.
It's the first I've heard of it. I'll say that.
I was really upset yesterday because I'm like, I don't want to go to another store. They all had dog nail clippers. Well, what do you need those for? They don't need...
You probably could have just called these stores and asked, do you have what I'm looking for here? To go 0 for 3, I mean, that's tough. Maybe next time.
What is it, 1984? I'm not calling them. By the way, shout out to Dollar General on Old Liverpool Road, listening to Sunny 102.
Yeah?
In the store, blasting it.
Nice.
I teased that Jim Boeheim had a conversation last week during one of the ESPN Summer League broadcasts. It was one of the Oklahoma City Thunder games where Buddy Boeheim was there. He was playing. Drew Carter was on the call, our good friend Drew, and Dave McMiniman was the sideline reporter. So they were asking him a lot of Syracuse-related questions. Some good insight from the overall conversation. Here's probably the most noteworthy comment from Coach Boeheim.
I think Syracuse is going to be a different basketball team. Jerry's come back, and he's gotten more money. Adrian, I don't think, got enough money, but I think he's got money, and he's got some better players. And, in Syracuse basketball is important. There's 400,000 people only in the town, and 30,000 people come to the game. So you know it's important to people. So I think they'll be back. I think they've got a really good team, and I'm excited about it.
That was a Buddy Boeheim bucket, by the way, at the end of the clip there.
Fitting.
Yeah.
Very fitting.
Anything stand out from that?
I don't know about the money part. I questioned it. How many times I'd stop saying it.
Well, I think they've got more money. I think.
Right.
I don't know about proportionally. Right?
Yeah, but just stop saying it's not like he's got the money. It puts the coach in a bad spot.
He said they have more money. I think it's factual to say that they have more money now. That they're spending more money. I just don't know if proportionally it's where you need to be.
Yes, but proportionally it's probably the same you were the past 2 years, maybe, or at least 1 year. It just stops saying it out loud that the money's there, because it just makes it tougher on the coach. Because now the fans will be like, well, Jim Boeheim said he had the money.
Yeah, I think you got to be careful, and that's why we've had many people on our show, and some from the university, talk about it, and they have to dance around it a little bit, because you also don't want the fan base to think that the money's not there, and then what's the point of trying to give? So
we're trying our best.
It doesn't exactly exude confidence, but you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's unfair to Jerry in year one to be out here saying you're going to be upper third, and he's got more money. Just he's working with what he's got.
Well, it's just whatever fits your narrative, I feel like. Because as we've talked about a lot, when we had John Wildtech, the former AD, on, he's going to come on and say we're upper half, right? Then Blair started saying top third.
Yeah.
They're going to make the most optimistic look at it as possible, because they're the athletic director. It's their job to bring in the money. The coach, like Coach Autry, if we got him on and reflected on the last couple of years, I'm sure he would talk about money was a reason why they didn't succeed because he's the coach.
Yeah. I find upper third is where they want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to get there before you say it.
But he didn't say it, though. He just said that there's, he's like, I think they've got more money.
No, but it's been said by others. Like, you gotta just don't get ahead of your skis on the money.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say, because I think our expectations for the offseason got pretty high because of the comments from that Pete Thamel ESPN article about how they're really enhancing the money, but the money enhanced nationally quite a bit.
Yeah, and it's a problem. There's inflation, and Syracuse is still behind, I think.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Paulie. I think you just got to be careful. Like, the people at the university that are talking on this, right, that are the face of it, they have to be careful not to sound like it's desperate times. Because if it sounds like desperate times, then fans are going to throw up their hands and say, what's the point then?
No, yes, but I think you go out and you pitch that we need more money, but you also don't raise expectations, because if people think Jerry's got an upper third budget and he finishes 10th.
Yeah, that's not good either. Yeah, that's not good either. Yeah.
I don't know what the line is. I think it puts undue pressure on
that's why you keep hearing we're more competitive, we've got more money.
Yes,
we still need more money.
Yes,
but we've heard a lot of that. We've heard that as a lot of the messaging. Definitively saying upper third, I think is tough. But we haven't really heard that recently.
No, not recently.
No, that was a while ago when we heard that. I think they've backed off that messaging a little bit.
You want to double up?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Let me open up my trusty doodly website here.
Do you have anything else while he's doing that, Tim, that you wanted to touch on?
Well, we could talk about the golf. I mean, Ryan Fox is sort of an unheralded player, and he just took the Open yesterday. I'm sure you watched it, Steve. His pace of play is aspirational. He gets up over that winning putt in 20 seconds. It's like they can't even set up the moment before he hits the shots.
Did you hear his soundbite afterwards when he talked about playing with Scotty Scheffler recently?
Yeah.
Scotty said that they were playing in a tournament, and he was like, I didn't even know they were in a threesome. He's like, I didn't even know you were here. It's like, we both play our shots, and then Ryan's already hitting, the ball's already in the air. So, that's just the way he is. He plays fast, and, it certainly worked for him. Some people are like that. They don't want to overthink it, right? And on that putt to win, he didn't overthink it. He stepped, found his line, he stepped up to it and knocked it in.
I mean, the biggest thing is whatever your routine is, you just can't change that when you get under pressure. And he is a fast player, and sometimes you see a fast player slow down or, take more time. He was just sticking to his routine, and it looked like it was just an everyday round for him, which is amazing because he's never been in that position.
Yeah.
I don't think he had ever had a top 10 in a major before he won that. So, been kind of a weird year. There's been some maybe under-the-radar major winners, but I did like that was not someone backing into it or anything. He birdied 18, which only had a handful of birdies all day. So, he really took it.
He earned it. Yeah, he earned it. What do you got, Paulie?
I've got Milli Vanilli, Steve. I've got Drake. You ever heard of him?
Of course.
I've got the Insane Clown Posse, Guns N' Roses. How about Linda Ronstadt? And that's about it. How's that doing? I'm not going back through them.
Aren't the Insane Clown Posse, aren't those shows, that's the one that's like weird shows?
Yeah, and they have their fans are called like something.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to vote for...
I know that's like... I heard a fantasy football league punishment was to go to one of those shows. Not my league, but...
I saw a fantasy league punishment play out on TikTok the other day of this guy having to golf in the tightest shorts I have ever seen in my life. It was basically boxer briefs. I'm going Milli Vanilli.
Okay. I'm going to go Drake. I don't think we've ever had Drake.
Come on, you can't not Milli Vanilli.
We've done Milli Vanilli before, though. I don't think we've ever done Drake.
Drake has so many songs that could qualify, I would say. I'm going to go him.
I'll ruin Drake. All right, Drake it is.
Drake just released 3 new albums, all in like the same day.
He's prolific.
Yeah. Well, I think he was just trying to get out of his record deal, actually.
Yeah, girl, you know it's true. Milli Vanilli had their breakdown tomorrow, and you ruined it.
We've done them before.
You know what happened today, Steve? In the world of history?
What?
You call yourself an American. We walked on the moon.
Oh, okay. I wasn't even paying attention to what date it was. I felt like you wanted to tell me, so.
Yeah, the moon landing.
There you go.
You were singing about the moon earlier.
Yeah. I should have done all moon songs today.
Yeah, I was going to say you could do it tomorrow, but you missed it.
Walking on the moon.
Would you believe?
They put a man on the moon.
They did.
When the moon hit your eye, Steve. Mac the Knife. Moon Dance. You know that one?
I do.
Dancing in the Moonlight. That's another one.
I like that song.
Should we do this tomorrow?
I do now. I do tell you this, Steve. Coming up in the next 2 weeks, because I was doing the 4 at 4s for Sunny 102, there will be a Paul Davis Day in the next couple weeks.
Let's go.
It's the day he got shot.
Okay.
That didn't kill him, but the day Paul Davis got shot is coming up, and that is Paul Davis Day. I texted Tim, you'll like this story. I texted Steve and Jordan. I was throwing steel at the gym the other day, and Paul Davis, Cool Night, came on while I was working out.
And you kept it?
Yeah.
Good workout.
It lifted my my lift went up by 5 pounds just from hearing that song.
All right. We're out of time.
Moon. Harvest Moon.
Okay. Thank you for listening, everybody. For Paulie,
Moons
for Tim,
of Jupiter.
I'm Steve. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Glad to be back. We'll see you then.
What kind of subhuman shoots Paul Davis? What a horrible trash human. You're right. I think he got mugged and they shot him in the stomach. They didn't kill him, though. I'm good. Let's go. I'll just pee while we're doing it.
I hear things.